救命啊！求求你，救救我！
我的儿子，我的儿子，我的儿子。
Good evening, police emergency. How may I assist you?
可以说华语吗？
可以，这位女士。
我是从中国广州打来的，我在网上找到新加坡警察局的电话号码。我的儿子在新加坡念书，他被人绑架了。
这位女士，请说慢一点。首先，请问你叫什么名字？
你可以叫我蔡太太。
你的儿子叫什么名字？
蔡学龙。我不知道怎么办才好，请你一定要帮我。
蔡太太，请放心，我们会尽一切能力来帮助。你有学龙在新加坡的地址吗？
有的。
You guys get it around? Okay. Bedok Police Division just transferred the case over to us. The victim is Cai Xuelong, a 19-year-old student from China studying in a university here.
They initially thought that it was a kidnapping case.
Yes. Yesterday, Xuelong's mother in China received a ransom demand along with a video of him tied up and injured.
Did the officers trace the kidnappers from the number that they used to contact Xuelong's mum?
The kidnappers used Xuelong's phone to contact his mother, Mrs. Tsai. After receiving the ransom demand, Mrs. Tsai called the Singapore police. Bedok Police Division assigned I.O. Jacqueline Leong to what was then thought to be a kidnapping case. But when she went to the victim's home, she found a forged document purporting to be from the Internal Security of China in Xuelong's bedroom. That's when she suspected it might be a scam case.
It looks exactly like the forged documents in other previous scam cases. The same font, the same logo, the same off-center alignment.
Even the MO is the same. The victim is accused of money laundering and fraud, so the scammers have leverage over him.
Here's the first video the kidnappers sent to Xuelong's mother.
救命啊！求求你，救救我！
The kidnappers then sent 2 more videos, but they're more or less the same. Each of the videos was accompanied by this message. I've sent a request to Interpol to trace the owner of the bank account. Although we've seen this scam numerous times, let's not rule out a genuine kidnapping. So let's all keep our options open.
Yes, sir.
Actually, even though I am housemates with Xuelong, we are not very close. Just hi-bye only.
When was the last time you saw Xuelong?
2nd April, around 8:30 p.m. He came home and went straight into his room. I haven't seen him since. When I left the next morning, his bedroom door was already closed.
Was there anything unusual about Xuelong that day? His behavior, his dressing? Was he carrying anything?
He was the same, normal. He was carrying his usual backpack,
And what color was it?
blue.
Did Xuelong have any problems or did he offend anyone in school?
I don't know. I'm sorry I can't help much, but we really didn't talk much.
It's okay. One last question. Did Xuelong ever mention anything about being investigated by any authorities?
No, he didn't tell me.
Can you fast forward the video? His housemate said that he came home at 8:30 p.m. that night.
Okay.
There. Pause. Play. Can you show me the footage for the next day?
Jacqueline mentioned that the bread and water found in Xue Long's room is the same as the one seen in the ransom video.
It's too much of a coincidence.
Let's see what else we can find. This could be a receipt for the bread and water. I'll follow up on this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from this branch.
Do you remember anything about the person who bought these items?
Wow, it's a few days ago. I don't think I can remember that. But I can check the CCTV for you if you want.
That'd be good. Also, the receipt says that the person paid by credit card. Can you tell which bank?
I need to check with our payment system.
Thank you. Can I see the CCTV footage now?
Sure. Here it is.
Pause. Father Lee, did anything turn up from the victim's background check?
No, sir. Nothing suspicious in his bank account. No large sum of money being withdrawn or deposited.
What about his uni life and social media?
Average academic record. But he hasn't been attending classes since last week, and he hasn't posted anything on his social media account either.
What about his mobile phone? Can we pinpoint its current location?
It's been switched off since the last ransom video his mother received.
Divya?
Couldn't identify much from the ransom video. Besides the fact that it wasn't shot in Xue Long's bedroom, there's not much to indicate its location.
What about the CCTV footage at his condo?
It matches his housemate's account. Come, take a look. On 2nd April, Xue Long left at about 3 p.m. and returned at about 8:20 p.m. The last sighting of Xue Long on the condo CCTV is the 3rd April, when he left at about 5:30 p.m.
You can see that on 2nd of April, he's wearing the same clothes as seen in the ransom video, while on the 3rd of April, he's wearing something different.
It seems that ransom video was shot on the 2nd of April, the day before Xue Long disappeared for good.
2nd April is also the date of receipt from the convenience store that we found in Xue Long's bedroom.
This suggests that the ransom video was staged. The credit card company has come back to us with the identity of the credit card holder. This is Janet Su. She's the one that bought the bread and the water seen in the ransom video and found in Xue Long's bedroom.
So it stands to reason that Janet met Xue Long at about 4:15 p.m. to have bought all these items, and 8:20 p.m. when he returned to his apartment.
Our records show that she has no priors. She's a Malaysian here on a work pass and is currently employed as a manicurist at Nails & Nails.
And that outfit that Janet's wearing, the white and dark blue office wear, the same attire used in previous scam cases.
That's what the China Interpol scammers will tell the victims to wear when they're falsely deputized as China Interpol representatives.
If Janet is really a scam victim, was she deceived into cooperating with the scammers to shoot the staged ransom video of Xue Long?
Seems probable. In the meantime, we're still on the lookout for Xue Long. The last known location we have is East Coast Park. Father, can you get some men to canvass the area tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was there. I was there on an assignment.
An assignment for whom?
For Inspector Huang of China Interpol.
你一定要相信我，我没有那么做。
我相信，我相信。我知道这是个误会，你听起来不像那种违反冠状病毒条例和洗黑钱的人，但是
你相信我，对吗？
我相信你，但是我的上司不相信你，他们觉得你很可疑。
那我应该怎么做？请你帮帮我。
如果你能协助我们调查并且合作，那就能证明你是无辜的。
那好吧，我什么都愿意做。你告诉我，我应该怎么做？
你必须要当卧底来帮助我们逮捕罪犯，但是我们的任务是最高机密，所以你千万不能告诉任何人。
好。
Inspector Huang told me that as a China Interpol representative, I had to dress properly. So whenever he gave me an assignment, I had to wear office attire. Inspector Huang also sent me a picture of a staff pass to print out and put into a lanyard to show that I was working for China Interpol.
Miss Su, there's no such law enforcement agency as China Interpol. Overseas law enforcement agencies have no jurisdiction to conduct operations here in Singapore, arrest anyone, or ask members of the public to assist in any form of investigations without the approval of the Singapore government.
I'm afraid you have been scammed.
Then, the assignments that I was asked to carry out?
The work of scammers.
Do you recognize this person?
Yes. 4 days ago, Inspector Huang instructed me to buy 2 mobile phones, one for him to communicate with me, the other one for an assignment. Then, he told me to book a tent at East Coast Park Beach. He said I would meet a young man who was in a similar situation as me, and we would have to work together to bust a money laundering syndicate. I would recognize this guy from the red polo t-shirt and jeans he was wearing.
Did you find out this man's name or anything about him?
No. In fact, we didn't speak to each other at all during our time together. We just followed the instructions given to us through our phones. Inspector Huang told me to apply makeup to make him look injured and then record 3 staged kidnap videos using his phone.
求求你，救救我！
Inspector Huang told me to exchange phones with the guy. I took the guy's mobile phone and gave him the second mobile phone I had bought earlier.
What about the guy? Where did he go after that?
I don't know. We left in different directions.
What happened after that?
I was instructed to leave the phone on a bench at the beach.
What happened to the phone after you have left it?
I don't know.
What else did this Inspector Huang instruct you to do?
He would sometimes ask me to go to different places and find money in envelopes. That's how he passed me the money to complete my assignments. Oh, on that day, he also asked me to rent a room in Woodlands for a week.
Hello.谢天谢地，你没事。妈妈好担心他们会伤害你。你在视频里看上去伤得好严重。
但是我不明白，夏文警官说你知道我并没有任何危险，你也参与了这个计划。
谁是夏文警官？我听绑匪说，如果我不给他们50万人民币，他们就会砍掉你的手指。
50万人民币？
我真的不知道怎么办才好，所以就打给新加坡警方寻求协助。谢天谢地，他们终于找到你了。你要搭下一班飞机回家，知道吗？
好的，妈。
我现在就去买飞机票，有新加坡警察在你身边，你会很安全的。
好。 I was scammed?
I'm afraid so. Such scams have been going on for years. Can you take a look at this picture?
This is the China Interpol officer I was working with.
She's actually a manicurist, and like you, she's also a victim of the scam.
The scammer contacted me a month ago. He said he was Officer Xia Wen from the Shanghai police. He told me that a handphone number registered under my name was spreading fake vaccination information in China.
我从来没有散播过虚假的疫苗接种信息。我认为接种2019冠病疫苗很重要啊。
不单是这样，你还用你的信用卡在上海洗黑钱，一共洗了500万人民币。
我从来没有去过上海，我来自广州。
不管怎么说，信用卡是在你的名下。这通电话就是要告诉你，警方已经对你发出了逮捕令。
Officer Xia Wen later called again to tell me that the Shanghai police had arrested a suspect who said that my mother and I were part of a kidnapping syndicate. The suspect told the Shanghai police that my mother's phone were bugged by the syndicate. So Officer Xia Wen wanted to use that information to catch the real kidnapping syndicate.
How?
He wanted to use my mother as bait. He told me to fake my own kidnapping by recording ransom videos. After that, Officer Xia Wen would send those videos to my mother. Since the real kidnappers were monitoring my mother's phone, they would think that I was really kidnapped.
How would that help?
He said that the real kidnappers would send a bank account number to my mother for the ransom money. From there, the Shanghai police would be able to track the syndicate and arrest them. Officer Xia Wen said that if I cooperated, my offenses would be considered settled. Officer Xia Wen told me not to trust anybody. He said anybody could be a spy for the kidnapping syndicate, like the bank officers or even the Singapore police. So I should only listen to him. He told me to meet this China Interpol representative. She would help me with the fake kidnapping. Then I gave my phone to the representative and she gave me a new phone to contact Officer Xia Wen. He said my old phone was being bugged, so it had to be disposed.
Then what happened?
I went home. The next day, Officer Xia Wen contacted me again and told me to go to a flat in Woodlands to hide out until the real kidnappers were arrested.
Wait.
好消息，我们已经逮捕了绑匪。
Officer Xia Wen told me to go to a bench at East Coast Park Beach to wait for a China Interpol officer. He would give me an official letter saying that all the charges against me had been dropped. But the Singapore police officers found me first.
Sir.
Well, Cai Xuelong is a victim and he has no idea what the scammers had planned.
I went to Janet Su's flat to recover all the forged China Interpol documents. She was also a victim of the scammers.
These China official scams are getting more and more sophisticated. There are so many layers, it'll be hard to catch the scammers.
We have to keep educating the public that there's no such thing as China Interpol and that overseas police agencies have no jurisdiction here in Singapore. Because knowledge is power.
In the case you have just seen, scammers impersonating government officials weaved a complex web of lies, ensnaring two innocent victims who were completely taken in by a fake kidnapping scheme. Thanks to the quick thinking and diligent investigations of officers from the Anti-Scam Command and Bedok Police Division, the victims were quickly located and made aware that they were victims of a scam. We would like to remind everyone that overseas law enforcement agencies have no jurisdiction to conduct operations in Singapore, arrest anyone, or ask members of the public for help with any form of investigation without the approval of the Singapore government.
You might be vigilant against individual scammers who act as bank or government officers. But are you aware that scammers also work in teams to deceive you? Sadly, Vivian wasn't.
But my bank accounts aren't involved in any money laundering.
Ma'am, I understand. But that's not what our records show. And money laundering is a very serious offense.
How do I prove that I'm innocent?
Well, I'm afraid your transaction records show suspicious activities.
But I didn't do it.
I'll seek police assistance on this. Don't worry, all right? I'll try my best to help you.
But little did Vivian know that she wasn't talking to a bank officer, but a scammer.
Thank you for sending a picture of your SPF warrant card.
Of course, it's important for me to prove that I'm from the SPF. The bank referred your case to us and you're currently under investigation. We'll be sending you a letter requesting your assistance soon.
But I didn't do it. I don't know how those transactions occurred.
Ma'am, did you know that money laundering carries a heavy penalty? My colleague, Investigation Officer Chan, will help you with the case. I'll send you his number now.
Unknown to Vivian, she was actually calling a third scammer who was pretending to be an investigation officer.
What? So you need a photo of my IC for the financial inspection and the verification of funds? I've never heard of that before.
Ma'am, I'm trying to help you. You can decline if you wish, but that will show you're not willing to cooperate and are likely to be guilty of the offense.
Wait, no, I'm not. Okay, I'll send you a photo now.
Vivian only realized she had been scammed when she contacted the bank and the police through their official channels to check on her case. Since October this year, there's been a resurgence of these government official scams. These scammers work in groups and impersonate police officers from the People's Republic of China or the Singapore Police Force to convince victims to transfer money to third-party bank accounts. Over 51 victims have lost more than $3.3 million so far. The largest sum lost by a single victim was more than $700,000. To avoid becoming a victim, take these precautions. Ignore requests to transfer bank funds to third-party accounts for the purpose of criminal investigations. Contact the relevant department to check if you received documents with the police letterhead. Don't give out personal information and bank details to callers over the phone. Don't make any fund transfers to people you have never met in person. Ignore requests from so-called government officials who call with phone numbers starting with +65, as calls from the Singapore Police Force will never begin with +65. Call a trusted friend or talk to a relative before you act. Call 999 or go to your nearest neighborhood police center for help. Download the Scam Shield app on iOS or Android. It will help to filter scam calls and messages and prevent you from being the target of scams. Let's take active steps to protect ourselves and our loved ones and be a scam-wise community. If you need advice, please call our anti-scam helpline at 1-800-722-6688 or visit www.scamalert.sg.
We have come to the end of this episode of Crimewatch. I'm DSP Joshua Jesudasan, and until next time, do your part to prevent, deter, and detect crime.